And we are back. Thanks for watching another episode of The Sports Trader. My name is John Todora, and of course, I am The Sports Trader. I love sports. I live sports, and I make a great living off of sports, actually. Such a good living that, in fact, I was able to walk away from all my businesses a few years ago and just do this, which I'm having a blast at. More about what I do later. This is my show on YouTube. It's brand new, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. Now, let's get a couple things out of the way. We've got a ton of topics we're going to talk about today. Of course, we're going to touch on what's going on in America with the riots. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball and the fact that Major League Baseball is coming back, it looks like, hopefully. We're going to talk about John Jones, who recently vacated the UFC light heavyweight championship of the world. And then we're also going to talk about the NBA, which, again, is hopefully coming back and we can start to get to some normalcy. But speaking of how abnormal everything is in this entire world, we're all more than aware of what's going on with in the country. As we get details more and more, things are happening all across the country as far as many peaceful protests, which I am fully in support of, and of course some craziness going on with people that appear to be outside of the jurisdiction of the protesters, separate groups that have joined the protesters and have not only, in my opinion, soiled what the protesters are trying to accomplish, but have also caused quite a bit of unrest throughout the country with robbing, looting. They've killed a couple of police officers. There have been many civilians who were injured. I saw a horrific video today of a gentleman laying in a pool of blood. Just was absolutely awful. A black man who was working at a store. I mean, just absolutely not what it was supposed to be about. And I'd love to tell you what I feel about all of this, but you don't care. As a matter of fact, that's what our first segment's actually going to be about, which is when people want to watch something like this or get lost in sports or entertainment. I feel that there is a value in that, and I feel like when somebody insists that a sports personality or a celebrity make a statement on who they voted for or how they feel about this issue or that issue, I am all for your right to express what you think or feel. I would just rather, and I would truly prefer that you did not do it while I was trying to watch sports. I just would rather that didn't happen. I bring this up because I recently saw a tweet. I shouldn't spend any time on Twitter, actually. It's such a toxic place. But I saw a tweet. Pro Football Talk has made several very political tweets lately, which I find to be incredibly annoying to me because I really just want to listen to what's going on about pro football. That's kind of why I follow them. I follow other people that are making political tweets, and I think those people do what they do, and if I want to ignore them, I can. But when it starts to take over everything, everyone's aware of what's going on outside. There's no reason to continue to put it on your Twitter feed and make a statement, in my opinion, because I don't believe that that's where it belongs. I believe Twitter's like a news source. So people are going on there to see news or some information, and I'm going there, and I follow the people that I follow, particularly because I don't want to be bothered and inundated with the constant left versus right, good versus evil battle. I follow some sports things. That's what I go there for. I don't want to be part of the toxicity that I used to follow. CNN, I followed Fox. I just got rid of all of that. I got rid of all of that out of my life. I didn't want to watch the left versus right. I don't care anymore. I just want to make money. I want to watch sports. I want to chase girls. I want to have some drinks every once in a while. That's my life. Anyway, so Pro Football Talk leaves this tweet up there. It says, only a few NFL coaches have had anything to say about the current social unrest. Where are the rest of them? Well, and I responded back by saying they're at home with their families. Not everyone needs to make a statement on everything. And that's really how I feel about it. I feel like you shouldn't have to make a statement, and they shouldn't call you out and say, are you going to make a statement? What is happening right now is terrible. The issue that started with Mr. Floyd being killed is awful. No one is for police brutality. If you want to say that was a racial event, no one's for that. You shouldn't have to make a statement. One of my favorite comedy bits of all time is Chris Rock, and he does this bit where he says, a guy says to him, and I'm sure many of you have seen it, a guy says, I pay my child support. I take care of my kids. And Chris Rock replies back and goes, that's what you're supposed to do. What do you want, a cookie? So I don't think you have to necessarily signal that I'm a good person. Look, I'm a good person. I'm against racism. Good, you should be. You don't get a cookie for that. You shouldn't have to say it. I don't think you should be forced by someone to have to say that. I don't think you should be forced to say that you find it horrific that man was killed in that fashion. Of course you find that horrific. I just think that coaches should be allowed to coach. They should be able to spend this time with their families. There's still a coronavirus out there going on. It's not gone. So, I mean, people want to take the opportunity to get away from, and I'm with it. And I shouldn't be talking about it for this long, but I feel like people want to take the time and get away from that, and they want to fall into entertainment and sports. And unfortunately for us, there is no entertainment going on. There are no sports going on. So now we're trying to drag all of these people into all of this madness, the coronavirus and the riots and everything else. And I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And hopefully what I said didn't offend anybody, but if it did, oh well, that's my opinion. I just don't think that everyone should be drugged in and be forced to make a statement. I don't think that every team should be forced to make a statement. I just don't. I don't think it makes them bad people. If you don't want to make a statement about something, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you don't want to get involved. And that's, for a long time, that was okay. But for a lot of people now, they think, well, I'm involved, so you should be involved too. And I don't think that has to work that way. And that's my opinion on that.